Welcome to the Life of KG, your ultimate destination for all things motivation and business insights. Join me, Katie Godfrey, serial entrepreneur and the brains behind the KG brand. Along the way, we'll welcome inspiring guests and share invaluable business tips to fuel your growth journey. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. With that said, let's dive into the world of success together. Welcome back to A Life of KG. I have such a treat for you this episode, but before we get into that, I need your help. I need you to go onto the show notes and click on the link. That is to join my waitlist for my book. Now, guys, I have been writing this book for such a long time and putting it all together, and we are nearly there. It's going to be launched in April. So please, please, please help me with my launch and join the waitlist so then you can help me out on the day. Anyway, today I have my friends on the episode. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hey. I really want to stress in this episode like the importance of having a girl gang. We're never going to get this episode done. They're just going to laugh the whole way through.
Pure chaos.
It is, but these girls literally keep me alive. Like, we bounce off each other all of the time, and like we talk about all sorts from like family, like drama stuff we're going through in business and life, and we just keep everyone uplifted. So I absolutely love it. So shall we do an intro on us all?
Yes. Shall I start?
Yeah, because I just think about
Okay, right. So I'm Kat Martin and I have a skin clinic in Essex, The Face Tonic, and I'm also a mentor for skin and beauty businesses. And I've got 2 kids, recently divorced, nearly 40. Entering my entering my new selfish era with 50% childcare,
life hack.
shit hot skincare, and that's me. My intro.
Wow, what an intro. Can you follow her, please?
Oh, God, I've got to go next.
Yeah,
okay,
please.
right.
Thanks.
So my name is Shaz and I am the owner of Sleek Marketing, which is a digital marketing agency for service-based businesses. And I am also a marketing mentor as well. I am a mum of 3. And I don't know, are we doing like fun facts here or what?
Oh God!
I mean, I don't know.
I'm not
the worst game
divorced.
ever.
I'm with my partner who I love. But yeah, it's just chaos. I don't really know what else to add there. Like that was
You're a
that's
tech
good.
whiz,
That was a lot.
Tech whiz, yeah.
SEO genius,
Yeah,
many chat expert, one of the
Kate,
first
you were
in the
going
UK.
Everything.
Jack of all trades over it.
Jack of all trades over here. So yeah, I don't know. Do you want me to keep rolling, or have you thought about yours
I'm
yet?
just going to wing it like I am the rest of my life at the minute, to be fair. So I'm Kaylee.
Can you understand her?
Yeah,
we need a
you will need
translator?
subtitles. I am trying to speak properly. That's not going to last. I feel like I've got my phone voice on.
I've never heard you pronounce a T. Fucking hell!
It's the H's I struggle with, actually. Hun.
Oh.
So I'm Kaylee. I was a skin specialist and educator. I built up a training academy where girls were travelling from all over to come, but it is just not what I was put on this earth to do. So I have, for most people will think, sillily walked away, but I am starting this whole new era of I'm a positive psychology coach and I'm very woo. I'm into my manifesting. So I don't know what my job title technically is right now. I'm just winging it and just bringing the vibes. I'm just using my voice to inspire. So
Yeah. Oh, I
and
love
make
that.
everyone laugh. So
Love that.
I love that. And you're doing loads of speaking at the moment, aren't you?
yeah, this is my new thing. Like, you will be sick of me next year. This is like a warning. Like, everybody is going to be sick of me. Everyone will have a northern accent because my voice will be everywhere. So you're all going to be pronouncing stuff like me. Get used to your vowels. We love them.
It'll be like a drinking game. Every time you say perspective, we take a shot.
You think I can say perspective?
You say to me, let's get some perspective, every time you
yeah.
speak
I can't
to me.
even say that word.
No, I can't
Perspective.
say that.
I don't think I do say that.
You do.
Yeah. I think I say get a grip.
Yeah, that one as well.
Oh yeah, that's the one that you do say.
I like, let's take a step back. That's my
Get some perspective.
Yeah, because I say get a step back like a normal person. And
No,
you speak
I've
like a
actually
posh
got it on
person.
voice note, so I will
Okay.
produce that evidence
Right.
later. You say
That
that
was
to me
an
most
intro
days.
and a half.
Perspective.
Let's get some perspective, is what you always say to me. And then I'm like, God, you're so right.
So this is how our conversations go down.
We sound like we don't like each other, but we really do.
We love each other loads.
We do. And like, should we talk about how we met?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
So we all met in Mastermind. And then, did you guys meet in person before that as well?
No.
Shaz and I did. We
Yeah.
went to Saint Tropez. the year before.
But we worked together, didn't we? So
We've worked together for a while now, you know, maybe
Yeah.
like 3 years.
yeah, so started working. Was it with the skin clinic? We started
Yeah.
working together.
Yeah.
So I was helping Kat with like her socials and also your website as well.
Oh my
at the
God,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how far back it was. Yeah, so her website, so helping her with SEO. And then it rolled into then being in the same mastermind together and then helping you with your coaching.
Yes. And we went to San Tropez together, and that was my first retreat I'd ever been on.
Yeah, I'd been on one previously.
And I
but
got
that was
locked
working
out my
together.
villa because the girl
Not
that
like you,
organised it didn't turn her hotspot on. And I messaged Shaz and was like, "Can I come for dinner with you?"
Like, absolutely.
You were like, "Yeah, we'll pick you up in the minibus."
Aw.
And then we
Yeah.
went to dinner.
Yes, that was good.
It was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Aww.
And then
Other than that, then it was all of us. We met in
Yeah.
Marbs, didn't we?
Yeah, like the odd message, but I never met in person until I chased you two down when you got off the flight. Because I was like, let me get in the van, please.
Oh yeah, and we
my
couldn't
God.
find.
Couldn't
And then
find
you
me.
were-
I was lost in the car park.
There being a few of them, weren't you? I'm trying to find you in the car
oh
park.
my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it
Because
was
you didn't
called-
understand the word merge.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
Merge.
Oh,
merge!
yeah,
Like,
merge.
So look,
Oh my
guys,
God.
I'm not a good driver. I have never claimed to be a good driver, but we hired a 9-seater and I thought
It was
that'll
like
be absolutely
A
fine.
kidnapper's van.
Basically a bus.
It was like a
Yeah,
bus,
huge.
and the car park was like the smallest thing that I've ever been in. And I was doing a 96-point turn in a 9-seater
Could we not figure out how to
Vito.
get it
So-
reversed as well?
I feel like that was a good team building exercise.
It was.
'Cause
Yeah.
Bear in mind, guys, this is the first time we had all met in
Yeah.
person. So, like, well, apart from like obviously we had met, but like properly all together. So it's crazy, isn't it? We were just saying this like off camera, but like how you're taught not to meet strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Online, we've all met each other online. Like we,
Yeah,
it's
like-
mental, isn't it? When I was growing up, my mum would be like, "Don't
That's
speak
not strangers.
To, yeah, don't talk to
Yeah, we'd
strangers
literally
and all
like
that.
met 10 minutes before, and there's me and you in the front being sat on Nav.
Yeah.
And Nav was can have any sense of direction whatsoever.
No,
Cat
Cat's-
couldn't understand a word I said.
Yeah,
It was
I couldn't read.
it was actual chaos.
Then I jump in. I think, what the hell is going on?
And then Kit was like, Kit, you get the front, you saw it out, and she was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh my
Basically,
God."
no one else stepped up to drive
No, you did
the
a really
car.
good job of driving.
So-
you just can't understand the
Did you do a
northern
good
sat
job?
nav.
Well, I got us from A to B every
the
day.
the wall.
Look, it was a lot. It was the other side of the road. The steering wheel was on the other side.
Yeah, you
I didn't know
kept
where we
going
were
over
going.
the like bumps. It was going. Do, 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 do.
I
I'm
couldn't-
like, "Cat."
That tunnel, she was
Understand.
this close to that wall every time. You was in the middle, you couldn't see. I was like,
Well, I was sat nav at the beginning, and then Kat was like, "Listen, you're taking us the wrong direction.
You was on your
can't
foot."
read."
I was like, can you help her? You're in the front. And then I had to get in the
I'm
front.
trying to post on socials on the social
Katie,
media girl. So I'm trying to
Kate-
get the content. And she's like, "Where are we going, Shaz?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Katie was really good at directing. Do you remember you then get in the
Wow.
front and be like very
I
calm?
don't even know my lefts and rights, but somehow I figured it out.
And then, oh my God, another classic from Marbella. So basically, I'm driving us in this like mini bus of doom to our like uplifting, inspiring, life changing retreat. Everyone's getting out like, oh my God, what was that? I nearly died. And then I was like, guys, I feel like we need to go for a walk on the beach
Do I
and look at the
look at the beach?
sunset.
That was the best, wasn't it?
I feel
Beach
like
I've never been
we
to.
need, we need sand on our toes and we need the sunset and we need to just.
I was like, we need to decompress. It's a lot. Like, you take a lot of information in. Bearing in
Yeah.
mind, it's like, it was half an hour drive there and back to the villa of like pure chaos and stress, and you're clinging on for life. So we needed this time to
Yeah.
decompress.
So I drove, I just looked on Google Maps, just a quick, where's the water? Oh, it's there. Just drove us to. Should we put this somewhere? This photo
I think
needs
I've
to go
got
on
a photo that
Instagram.
we'll insert here.
It was like, not that I don't love it, but it was like Southend, but with less happening, wasn't it? There was just like one drain.
Well, I think it was
It
worse
was-
than
yeah,
Southend.
It
Yeah.
was literally some stones on the floor next
Yes.
to the water.
Yeah,
it was
and
a
there was,
gated
like, drains.
community
Yeah.
that we don't know how we got on. There was like this security guard
Security kept
came
looking
by
at us.
because again we had a big blacked out van like
Dodgy.
kidnappers.
And there was
And
a
this
kid that
really-
drove past
this-
on his bike
yeah.
looking at us going
Like
like,
literally
"What
went
are
home
you
and told his
doing?"
mum and daddy was about to be stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So
That
that,
was-
wasn't
But these are
What
core
about-
memories. And this is the thing. When you think, I'm going to go on a retreat, you don't think you're going to end up at a derelict, like, sewage beach.
Do you know what was my
No.
favourite part of the retreat though? When we every night we were sharing
yeah.
a room, the four of us, and me and Kat were sharing a bed. Kaylee was, what were you on? like
the surfer thing.
So
opposite.
And then Katie, you were like over there, and then every night we would like do our, what was it,
Peak
Peak in our pit.
Yeah, peeking our pit, and I loved
That was always cute, but we had to do it literally as we was falling asleep because so much happened constantly. If we'd done it, didn't at tea or anything like that, so much would have happened since. So we had to literally do it as we were shutting our eyes.
Every night.
It was
so
so
good.
much fun. Like the last retreat I went on, I basically worked from like the minute my eyes opened until like midnight. On the Marbella retreat, I was like, I'm going to get so much done. I've got like this launch I'm going to do. It's going to be amazing. I didn't do any work. I laughed, like belly laughed until 1 a.m. Like
I know.
I haven't laughed like that in 20 years.
Crying,
It was
laughing.
so good.
It was so funny.
It was just constant. There was just never a moment where it was just quiet and there was just calm. It was just chaos.
It was
in the best
absolutely
way
mad.
possible.
And like getting ready together. It was like literally girlhood personified, wasn't it? It was so much fun. And like that's the thing. I love going on stuff like retreats and, you know, like masterminds. You don't know what's in store.
No.
Like I could never have predicted that was going to be like the girls' holiday of all girls' holidays. I thought I was going to like map out my launch for my new program, which I did do that as well. But we had so much fun and such a laugh, and we built a friendship that's like lifelong.
Yeah.
Well, literally. And I've never been on like girls' holidays before, believe it or not.
Haven't you?
No. Well, my friendship group is very much like spread out. Like I'll be one person from that group, two people from that group, like rather than just like a girl gang. Yeah. So this is like really nice, but I've never done the whole girl holiday.
Yeah. It's
So
lovely.
that's
That
really,
experience.
and it obviously, right, it was a girls' holiday, but obviously we was there to learn, which we obviously done loads of and implemented and made loads of change in. Is the highly motivational.
But you can do both.
You can
But
do both.
I think you do more when you're having fun. I genuinely think like I always generate more income. I get more like leads because I'm having fun. I mean, and then when you do that bit of work, it's actual work that needs to be done. It's productive. It's not a full day of I've got to do this. I've got to do that.
I don't think until you go on a retreat, you don't know what it is. Like trying to explain what a
So
retreat
difficult.
is
Yeah.
is so hard until you're there. And also, every retreat is different. I've been on, obviously I've been on, that was my third one when I met you guys. But each one had been different. So some of them you actually go to learn. It's the intention. So when it was the third one for Marbs where we all met, my intention was completely different. It was less learning. I think it was more like community, that type of thing. It's the same with masterminds, right? Like everyone goes for different reasons. Some people go for, you know, community. Some people go to learn. Like it's just the intention that you put in.
And it's different for different people, isn't it?
I think it's so hard to explain the connections you get. I think people don't get it. Is like we always say, it's like Love Island for like business besties.
Yeah.
Like, literally met you lot. I was like I am quite awkward with people, or I take a lot of time. So I'm like with you guys, that was it. We was best friends straight away. Like I've been on like 6 retreats now. Treat her.
Retreat.
My life. But like the connection, I think it's because you're in the room with people you're supposed to be with. Like a lot of people don't have friends and family in business. They do not get it at all.
No.
And so, you're like obviously I'm from Hull. It's very lack mindset. Very like, what do you mean you want to earn this money? What do you mean you want to go do this? Like you're delusional, you're crazy. So to be around people that have bigger goals, that think actually I want to do that, it's incredible. It's like I found my people straight away.
And not only do they like share your goals and they're not like, oh, it's all right for you, which is the type of thing you hear like when you're around black people. But they're also like, why don't you try this? Because that worked for me. And I feel like that would really work for you. Like, when do people share like that with you?
Yeah.
Like,
And we're
it's so
also
valuable.
open, aren't we? With like what our goals are and like, do you think we should do this? Do you think we should do that? And we all tell each other like really truthfully of what we should and shouldn't do. It's like we have coaching sessions ourselves now, which is like amazing.
It's so
and I think when
good.
anyone, like people that come on my retreats, most of them come solo. And the biggest thing that I hear in like my DMs all the time when people are inquiring is, well, I don't know anyone, or, you know, I've got to come on my own. And
that
it's like,
to me.
it will be the best thing, I promise. But you do have to be like, you have to be so brave to like sign up to that retreat and go.
I think if this is something in your mind thinking, I want to be on a retreat, you're supposed to be at that retreat. There's something pulling you. There's your people are there. Like you are going to learn something, or something's going to happen on that retreat, and it's going to completely change like your life. Like some of the retreats I've been on, it's been the connections that have completely transformed. Like this next step in my business, one of my friends, Lucy, she's helped me so much, and I met her on my first ever retreat. Like even though I didn't get stuff from the retreat necessarily, I got Lucy, and it's like what you get from there.
The first retreat I went on was in Dubai. And I was so fucking scared because
I remember.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go. I wasn't gonna
You were
go.
like, are you going to fly there? Do you remember I ended up
Yeah.
not going in the end, but
Yeah.
we were going to fly together because you'd never flown before.
I'd never flown on my own, like all of this stuff. I had so much anxiety about leaving the kids as well. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't think I could do this. And then like my other half was like, Matt was like, just do it. And I'm like, do you just want me to go away for a few
Just
days?
want a
Like,
break.
and he's like, no, do it. You need to do it. And like he sort of like pushed me to go. And I'm so glad he did that because now I'm like, the kids were fine and I saw like the return on investment straight after that from everything I learned and like the connections I made and the money that I made off the back of that. But yeah, so I totally relate for people when they say I'm scared to travel on my own because I was so fucking scared. Like I couldn't think of anything worse than doing that.
I was the same for Saint-Tropez. So my daughter was 6 and that was the first time I'd left the kids.
No way.
Yeah. And I left my husband at the time. I left him a list of like the uniforms, the clubs, the this, the that. Like one of our daughters has got severe allergies. I was like, just remember, she needs her EpiPens. You know, I literally listed everything. And actually, anyone that's listening to this feeling nervous about leaving their husband with the kids, it was the making of him. And then when I got back, he then carried on doing some school runs and doing stuff because he
appreciate it, don't
Yeah.
you? A little bit more of what you do.
Yeah. And do you remember oh my God, Shaz, when we got to Saint-Tropez, we'd flown on different airlines and we didn't realise there were 2. This is going to make us sound really dumb, which obviously we're not. But like, oh my God. So there are 2 terminals in Saint-Tropez Airport. Like how weird is that? And we were on the phone and I was like, I'm outside like gate 1. And she's like, I'm outside gate 1. I'm like, no. In the end, these 2 like French taxi drivers that had had enough of my bullshit came over and they were like, there's 2 terminals. She's in the other terminal. And I was like, oh. And he was like, right, get the shuttle. And I'm like, you need to get the shuttle. She's like, I'm not getting on the shuttle. Where's the shuttle? I'm like, no. You've got to get on the shuttle and it's going to bring you
I'm
to
like
me.
a child.
It was painful, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, but not even just that. Then the Uber driver. Oh my God, from the airport was pure carnage. We got some absolutely crazy Uber driver.
I said to Shaz, this is like totally normal for me, by the
This
way.
happens
These are the
to her
type of
all
people
the
that
time.
I
Always happens
attract
to you.
I was
into
like,
my
I wish
feelings.
I had the
Always.
warning. So we called an Uber driver and then we're in there and then he was just like, oh my God.
He was
can't even
driving
begin
full
with.
pelt at the like toll things that open, the automatic barriers. He's like,
not
watch
pay
this,
for
watch
them.
this, watch this. And was like flooring it. We were like, ah! And then it would open at the last second. He's like,
And he was like smoking as well. So when we got in, he's like lighting up a fag, smoking.
my
He's
God.
like,
I
didn't
do you
mind
want
it.
anything? Like honestly, I'm like sat there and I'm like and we're in an hour and a half with this absolute nutcase. And after that, I was just like, Kat, I'm just never doing that again. Like, please.
I was like, this
just
is
too
like
much.
totally
normal for you.
normal. This is absolutely spot on for
I need
exactly what I
like an
expected.
inhaler after
Oh
that.
my God. Well, my first retreat, Brody was only 3 months old.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh God, do I do this? Do I not? And I was like, see you later,
Yes.
kids.
Mum guilt's like real, isn't
But that's
it?
the other thing as well. Use the retreat for what you need it for.
Yeah.
I needed the childcare and I needed the holiday.
Yeah.
My friends don't go on holiday anymore because they've got the kids or they've got, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not an option. And I've like always had girls' holidays. Like that's something I like miss so much adulting. And it's like, this is my only chance to go on holiday without my husband and kids. My only chance to get the childcare. And guys, it's tax efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking there.
Absolute no-brainer.
Yeah. That's why I say that all the time though. Like, why would you not? Do you want to pay the tax man?
Yeah, or do you wanna go?
Do you wanna go to Marbella?
Yeah.
But do you know
Do you
what
want to go
as well?
miles?
Like with community. So before I started business, like I had friends and stuff like that, but not like the right like crowd. So then when I started my business, I was very much like, I don't want to sort of like mingle with others
Yeah.
to begin with because you sort of feel a bit like, what are people going to be
gosh,
like?
no
I
mingling.
I keep myself to myself. Like now it's totally different. But like, yeah, I was a bit like how supportive are other people going to be?
Yeah, I think
and all
that's
this sort of stuff. And it's like,
surprising,
yeah, it's surprising. Like this whole world is completely different. And I love the fact that like we were saying earlier about like if you try and speak to like other people that aren't in this world and you start saying, oh yeah, like done 10K, done this, done that, they're like, what?
Yeah, or they're like, you're full of shit, or you're doing OnlyFans,
Oh.
or
They
it's
don't
like someone
get
else
it.
is giving you that, you're lying. Like,
Yeah.
whereas I think when you go by yourself, you expect to be around people like that, but because everyone's on your wavelength, I think that's why you instantly become best friends, because you just get it, and it's not having to explain everything to people. And
And it doesn't sound crazy.
no,
Like when you're
it sounds
saying the
small,
girls.
because then you've got girls going, well, I did 30k, and you're like, what? Amazing,
Yeah.
tell me.
And that's why it's good on the retreats and then in the masterminds, because you see other people who are like, you know, higher above and stuff like, well, there's not hierarchy, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Oh
doing
my God,
more.
inspire.
And it's just like, wow, like I can do that. I don't see people's success as like a negative thing, like not
just like,
jealousy. I see that as like, right, well, if they can do that, I can do that
Exactly.
as well.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
a lot of
certain
people.
type of mindset, isn't it? Like,
Oh my God. So when I went to Ibiza, this was like a different retreat, very different crowd. I'd never done like this coaches retreat before. And I had, at the time, my launch was 50K, which was the like biggest launch I'd ever done. I could not fucking believe it. Like it's so much bigger than that now. I still can't believe that. But at the time it was 50K. And I remember thinking like, I can't wait to talk about my launch, because, you know, you can in those spaces and people will, you know, like applaud you and uplift you. So I'm like, oh yeah, I've just had a 50K launch. And they were like, oh my God, like they were so happy for me. And then they started talking about their launches and it was like 3.6 million. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
But I want to be in, like, you
Yeah.
want to be in those rooms as you grow. You want to be in them rooms.
Because
you
it
can't
seems
be
so
the
real.
smallest
Yeah.
fish. If you're the
Yeah.
no, what is
If you're-
it?
if
No, you
you're
can't
the
be the
biggest
biggest
fish, yeah.
fish. If you're the biggest fish in the
you need
room,
to
you're
move.
not going to learn.
Yeah.
But you know, like people get triggered online when they post their wins. I don't find that a trigger. I
But that
find
comes from that lack
good.
mindset, and it's because they can't achieve that, or they can't believe they can
Yeah.
achieve that, or it's holding that mirror up to people. And then they're, especially I think when you start to do well and you have your own business, the people around you then, like my brother's going through this at the minute, he's absolutely smashing it. He's doing his online PT, and a lot of people, he's getting like a lot of negativity from him, but it's because it's holding the mirror up, because it's, when it's a stranger online, it's only finance. They've got money from so and so. This has happened for them.
Yeah.
When it's someone like you from where you live who has the same background as you and they're doing well and they're not, then it's the mirrors held up like, why are I doing well? So that's why the lash out, that's where the negativity comes from.
Sometimes though, do you find it like, so I love like how we speak about business and we're really open with each other. And then when you're sort of out of that world and you just like with like your friends or family, I don't want them to know really about like how much I'm earning.
Well,
and
they
things
just
like
won't
that.
understand.
No.
It's a little bit like you don't really talk about each other's paychecks if
No.
you're in a normal job,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
secretive.
Yeah.
You don't really talk about that. But in business, it's so much more different.
I feel like in this space is way more open, because I feel like if I tried to explain to certain people that I know, they'll be like, what the hell
yeah.
type of thing. And then they view you differently.
But I remember this
as well.
from back in my recruitment days. I remember I got a 10 grand sorry bonus. Have I told you about this?
Wish I had
What's
a
a
10
sorry
grand.
bonus?
Yeah.
Oh
I want
my
a 10
God.
grand
So-
sorry bonus.
So basically, I asked for a pay rise for 18 months at this company that I worked at. And I used to bring them in so much money, so many clients, and basically they just buoyed me off. They were always like, no, you know. And I found out that someone else got hired who had less experience than me on more money than me. So I went to go and look for another job, and I got offered double the salary, double. So I went to hand my notice in, and they were absolutely gaslighting me looking back at this. They were like, oh, why are you leaving? And I was like, well, you know, I've been asking for a pay rise for 18 months. Like, I've only got limited time doing this job and I want to make as much money as possible. Anyway, they were like, we want to put an offer together. And I was like, no, I'm done. And they were like, we're going to send you a sorry bonus. We're going to put £10,000 in your account. They were like,
Hush
Kate,
money.
in accounts, Kate, send her £10,000 and let's just all calm down and all talk.
Oh
and I got
my
sent
God.
a £10,000 sorry bonus. But the point of me, I mean, how mad is that? And anyway, the end of the story is they doubled my salary and I stayed, and it was fucking incredible. But that was for my 30th birthday, I remember. But I told people about this 10 grand sorry bonus, thinking
think
it was the
you're
best thing
cakeoing.
ever. And they were like, it was not well received, to put
No.
it mildly,
Yeah.
by like my friend, not my proper friends, but like, you know, especially like my family, like my family
Yeah.
basically don't like me, and like I trigger the fuck out of them. And I bought myself like a really nice car, and they're like, "Oh, it's all right for you." And I'm
I
like,
hate that.
hate
That's all right.
that.
Yeah, it's all right for you. And
What? Because I show up every day. What? Because I do that messy action.
me and Katie, we were talking about that, weren't we? About like saying, "Oh, it's all right for you," but they don't see the journey that you'd been on to get there. And
again,
stuff.
they have to try and think of an excuse because it's like they're like you, so it's why ain't it working for them? So it's all right for you. They have to blame you instead of looking at themselves and be like, "I ain't put the effort in. I ain't shown up. I ain't taken the risk."
But this is why I love getting older, because 20 years ago, I'd been really affected by that, and I would have tried to get them to like me. But the older version of myself just never went there again.
I love how you said about
goodbye.
asking for a pay rise, because I remember when I first got like a proper job before I had my own
a real
business.
job. Oh, you don't have real jobs.
Yeah.
I've never had a real job.
I've never had a real job.
They're shit.
It was me and someone else going for this like customer service role and stuff, and I was like literally buzzing at the time because it was like 21 grand. I was like, wow, I've never been on this amount of money. Like, this is sick. I was like on benefits at the time. It was between me and someone else. Anyway, the guy who was like hiring me basically said, well, I'll go with you because everyone's been saying I should like select you because like I don't know all this. He goes, but because I was 19 at the time, and he goes, but we're gonna knock some of the money. Yeah, so illegal to do that. So illegal to do that because of how
Probably wasn't
young
at the
you are.
time.
Even though I could fulfill
The full
everything
role.
like that. And then, I ended up taking like more responsibilities and stuff. And I remember asking for like £1,000 pay rise, and it was like asking blood out of a stone. And I begged and begged for years, and it was just like, no. But yeah, how crazy is that? Just made me
I would
think about
never
that.
work for another person.
I couldn't.
Now.
Do you know what
No.
makes me laugh though? Like just even saying that, like how many times are we told we ain't got proper jobs?
Yeah.
Like I had a proper job. I worked in corporate. I was like an information governance officer. Actually,
No, I cannot deal with
the
that.
ICO. hunt.
Information governance officer. Kaylee speaking. How can I govern you?
Yeah, I was just like, I controlled how we looked after people's information. I had like law and shit. I had to like
Oh
reply
my
with
God.
like legal
Stop.
shit. I swear to God.
What did your signature say? Best, comma, Kaylee.
It depended how
governance
pissed off
department.
I was.
I worked
Regard.
in Primark
With
before that
regards.
job. I loved working Primark because I used to just like hide in the changing rooms and not do work.
But it's like how that job, because I had like an office, I had my own office with my name on. That was a proper job, even though I got like maybe $2.5 grand, $3 a month. Whereas I could then went to skin, and that wasn't a proper job, and I was silly, and I was working half the hours and earning twice as much.
What
but
do you think
that wasn't
about-
a proper job.
Yeah, what do you think about me? Everyone thinks I just scroll on social media because I'm a
just sit on your
social
phone
media
all day.
manager.
Yeah, that's what you do. You
Just
just
sit on your
DM
phone.
people.
Yeah, I just post stuff.
Isn't it?
People would
Yeah.
never understand it. And if we want a pay rise now, we're going to work for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
that.
crazy.
So I'm going through a bit of a spending moment at the minute because I've just not sure if you guys heard, but I'm recently divorced.
She's fully in a villain era. I like
she's available.
It's vibing.
I've just got this like I've got this amazing apartment, and I didn't
He's
want to
insane.
take any of the furniture from, even though me and my ex-husband are on really good terms and he's a lovely guy, I didn't want to take I didn't want to take any of the stuff from the old house because the energy is fucked, and I just didn't want it. So I've bought everything from scratch for this new apartment. So I'm like dreaming about
good.
like rugs and lamps. So what was the point of me even talking
I
about
don't
this?
know.
Oh
I think
yeah,
you just really
so,
enjoy talking about
so
She's just loving her new life.
She's
so
just like,
much.
I am divorced.
I'm divorced.
I am
She's
having
a
a
You're like,
divorce.
hey,
got
all
an
my listeners
apartment.
divorce their husbands.
no. I've remembered.
Anyone for cat?
No, I've remembered what I was getting at. I needed some more money to buy more interiors. So I was like, I've got to book some more sales calls and I've got to sign people up to my program. The program's the bollocks. They're going to get the results. It's all like completely legit, but I need my interiors. So, and you've got the ability to dictate
that.
your salary.
I think you can earn whatever you want,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
feel it's really important to know what your number is.
Yeah.
This,
Because otherwise,
honey,
you really just keep going, and nothing's ever enough.
I literally, on the last retreat I was on, actually, I spoke to a girl and she was saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to get £1 million. So I was like, why? And she was like, but she said she was feeling really guilty because a baby was about 8 months old. She said, I feel guilty when I'm with him and I feel guilty when I'm at work, but I want this £1 million. I was like, but why? She's like, so I can spend more time with my kids. I was like, so why do you need £1 million to do that?
Yeah,
I was like, do you not get the irony? You're going to miss out on him being so small for so long. And that's what you're saying you want the money for. So why not earn £500,000, have a fucking lovely life, see him get to 10, then go get your million. Like you say, what is the actual number? What do you want?
You really do have to
You get
look at
caught
that.
up. I think as much as I like that we all share how much we earn, it becomes the rat rate. It becomes again like I need to get that to be good enough.
You don't
to
want to
say
be
I'm a
burnt
businesswoman
out at all. Like
But
when
also I want that.
there's no money like worth it. And like I've had clients before, and like I'm at the position now. I'm like, if you're not aligned with me, you're not worth that money.
1,000,000%.
I would rather have
Totally.
less than the stress of that shit. Like, I
And
can't have that.
I do feel like this is kind of why I'm having a good divorce because of that reason. I know that I don't need to fight for the death. I mean, obviously, I know I'm lucky that I'm like that, but I've earned the salary now that like I need for my life, for me and my kids, and I don't need anything else or want anything else. And that feels so good. Like I don't need to go to fight with him for this and that because I'm like, for what?
No, because you'll always be searching for the next thing
because you get
all the time.
I remember I had nothing. I couldn't afford to pay my bills. I couldn't buy food. And I remember I had this 10k a month on a pedestal, and I worked and I got this 10k a month. And I remember sitting there and like, why the fuck do I feel good now? Why has nothing changed? Like nothing made me feel. So I was like, oh no, I need to get 20k a month. And it was just I would constantly been chasing this carrot. Whereas actually, personally, I needed to go in and heal and know my worth. And then now, I want to earn loads of fucking money because it's fun, but not because it means anything.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do that to then like fill that hole in me or to like miss out on other things now. Like the number I used to have is nowhere near the number I have now.
And I think it's the same with goals as well, right? I remember that it was like my ultimate goal to have franchises and I wanted these salons around the country and then I'd done it. And I remember when I signed the deal and I opened this franchise on that day and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm driving to a salon in Wokingham at the time. And I was like, my name's above the door and it's not even mine. Like, and they've just paid me for it. And I'm like, is this actually happening? Like, I've dreamt of this for literally years. And I remember driving home that night after the launch and I got in and I was like, okay, now what?
When's the next one?
Yeah.
Where's that
Now
coming
what?
from?
And it was like a real anti-climax.
Yeah.
And that happened on my 100K launch as well. I was like, I really want a 100K launch, done it. And I was like, okay, now what?
Yeah. But it's about, sorry, Shaz, I was going to say in our book club, we do a lot of books about romanticizing your life.
Yeah.
And actually it is looking at like your everyday stuff. Like for me, chargers are a massive fucking issue. I need 10 chargers because I never have a charger. I never have battery. But actually, when I started like making my daily life easier and I got there's chargers everywhere now, that's changed my life. Like little things that annoy you all day long, like have to be changed. And like romanticizing the small parts of your life, I think is where you find the like simpler joy and happiness. It's not from the 100K launch.
It's the mindset thing. But I love how you said about how you get multiple charges, which obviously sounds funny. But when I, all my life, I've really struggled with money. And like, I got myself in like 20 grand debt. Like I remember like with the kids as well, even though I was working in a corporate job that was like 40 grand, I was like a single mum at the time and like struggled to pay my bills and childcare. Like it sounds dramatic, but I used to have to like I had this tin in my kitchen and like had to go and get like change out of there to go and get bread. And like, it was like that, like so bad like that. And I always struggled, and it's like getting out of that mindset now. But like to think about having like multiple charges is like crazy. But like I love the fact I used to treat my bank card like a gift card. I never really knew what was in there and stuff. And I love the fact that now like it's the little things, like when I fill up my fuel, I'm always like saying thank you to like the universe that I can actually put that £90 in without worrying, without having to check, do I need to move this or whatever it is. I used to do, oh my God, with the pay pump, this is so bad. I used to know that I didn't have money on my bank card, and I used to do the pay at pump when there was because it would do it for £1, but I knew that it would take me over my overdraft, like that type of thing, just so I have fuel before the money came in for that month. So yeah, it's like
mad, isn't
now.
it? Like I was just thinking about when my best friend bought me a winter coat because I didn't have enough money to buy a winter coat, and like when you think of that, like the journey to then, that's the thing is that's how we can talk about money the way that we have, because we've got it. When you haven't got money, it's a very scary, stressful, horrible place, but it is temporary.
It is temporary. But do any of you, because I still have this openly, like fully admit it, I still get fearful of not having it, of losing it. So I'll get to a certain success, but then I will still be like, imagine if I lose it.
See,
so
I
let's carry
don't.
on. I
Yeah.
still have that.
I don't have that, but I think it's because when I grew up, my nan, she was Arabic and she was really old school, and she taught me always how to graft and have money because she never had money. So I always had in my mind, doesn't matter what I do, I'll always find ways. I used to sell things, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think similar. I think because like I was like you, I'd be in Aldi with 20p's in my hand and my I remember the shame of my calculator trying to add up to make sure I could buy the bread, the milk and whatever, like and then going to paying 20p's.
Yeah.
And then I know I got through that. So I know if I lost everything tomorrow, I would figure it out. Or I know if I lost everything, I back myself enough now and believe in myself enough now that if you took everything away from me tomorrow, I would fucking figure it out. Or again, like look at my mum this year, like my mum had cancer, like she smashed it, she's fine now. But we got through that. Like for me, everyone just being healthy. Or like I think the kids, like my nieces and nephews, like I had them before. I've had nothing, but I had them and we had our health. We'll fucking figure it out. And I just think money, we put it on this pedestal and it's not that deep. Like we think it's going to change our lives and change who we are and make us this certain version of ourselves when actually we get to be that and we get to create that. And money's literally made up. It's not even, it's numbers on a screen. Like, and I think we all think it's this thing.
Money will always come as well.
Yeah.
You can always
It will
attract
come
it.
and go, definitely. Like,
I
And
don't
you can always
worry about
rebuild.
not having money anymore because I've like really trust myself to always be able to make money. But if I'm completely honest, I do struggle to hang on to it all the time because I love a fucking spend.
I
I
love
think you need to be a
spending
bit
as well.
delulu to be a business
completely.
owner, don't you?
I think
Definitely.
I think going from like a corporate background as well to then a business, it's like what the fuck? Because I always get paid at the end of the month, and I always got this much money. Whereas now I can literally sometimes earn 8-10 grand in a couple of days. Like that's mental. But then I cannot earn anything for 3 weeks, and it's like shit. Where am I going to get the money from? So you've got to, like say, be delusional. But I think that it's
And
that
be
self belief.
brave.
It's that self belief.
Like what you're doing at the
Self-belief
moment
huge.
is so
It's absolutely mental.
No, it's
It's
so
really
brave.
is.
So brave because you've built up this massive business. You're so known as Winnie's and you're like, actually, I feel like I want to go down a different direction.
Complete different route.
So fucking brave. It takes so much courage. Like you've done it from corporate already and you're now doing it again and you're moving into your like mindset era. It's a lot, but you're so destined to do that.
This is like my soul contract.
And you should be so proud of yourself that you're doing it again. Like it's one thing leaving corporate for your own business. It's quite fucking mental. Then starting a new business completely.
No backup again.
Yeah.
But I think again because of where I was and I figured that out and I did that on my own and nobody helped me and then I just know I will do that again. Like you've got to be delusional. You've got to have that bravery. You've just got to go all in and just know if you show up every day with that messy, consistent action, you can achieve
Messy
anything.
action. I
Messy.
love
Like,
messy action.
because the people that sit there and wait for the perfect time and wait, it's never
There
ever
isn't
there.
one.
Oh my
There's
God. And
never the right
most
time.
Successful people are the ones who show up. Like sometimes I look at someone and think, how have you got to that? You're not a nice person. You're not great at what you're selling or whatever it is. But they showed up every fucking day.
Me and Katie were talking about this literally yesterday about messy action and also like just doing it.
Yeah.
So like for me, there was a course that I wanted to create and I kept thinking about it, thinking about it, and I wouldn't do it. And then one day I had a conversation with my coach and she's like, I think you should just pre-sell. I was like, what the fuck's a pre-sell? And she's like, where you just announce it, like sell it, you've not made it. And that's what I needed because I
make you
needed
make
the
it.
pressure. Like
Yeah.
I work so well
That's why-
under pressure. Otherwise it would never get done because I was too busy thinking about it and putting it off. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm busy with this, busy with that, And now anything I do, I would just pre-sell it because I need that. Like some people don't work
Yeah,
well
I
under
don't
pressure, so it's not for them.
Yeah, I'm
Whereas
like
for
that.
me,
Yeah, the pre-sell
I need to
works for
say, it's here, it's live.
Yeah.
But
and
that's
then I've
what
got
I can
the
do
pressure.
now. Like I've for the past few months been straddling both the skin and then going into the mindset, and I'm all or nothing, and I can't do both. So I had to fully. It would make sense to start building up my speaking and my appearances and the mindset whilst doing skin. But for me, I'm like I can't do.
But-
I've got to
do
go
both.
balls deep. I've got to go all in.
Yeah.
Steve. Remember the day though, Kaylee, I voice noted you and was like, I've been thinking, like, I really want you to be a mindset coach on my group program. And I really think you should come to my retreats. Ibiza and Saint Tropez. I really want you to. And you were like, that's so fucking weird because I've just decided like
Yeah.
today that I'm
day.
going
This
to
is-
pursue that. And you've got
it
3
does.
gigs now?
5. The universe literally
5.
responds like there and then. Like I was like, right, I need to put my notice in that salon. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and it would have been so easy, especially for training. Q1 is crazy. I could easily have just done Q1, got my money in the bank, but then I'd have been like, oh, I'll just stay till May now. Oh, I'll just stay till June. Then it's Christmas again, so I had to just walk away. So the day I sent that text to the girls at the salon, Kat messaged me and was like, I need to speak on my retreat. I need you to be the mindset coach. Lucy was like, you need to come to Dubai to speak. And then I've
All
got
this stuff happened.
literally
Yeah.
within, and I've not advertised it. I still was winning
It all
skin.
just
I've not
falls into
told
place.
anybody.
Yeah. So good.
I do think you literally can make your own life.
You
Yeah.
can.
And
You do love the
like
creator.
everyone is like, oh, but there's this going on in my life, or there's that going. All the excuses under the sun, all of the time, and
Life's
it's like
always
you can
chaos.
do
Life's
whatever you
always
want
life.
to do. You
Yeah.
just got to take the risk to do it.
You're the
There's no
creator. You
right
are the
time.
creator, and I think I used to be that in victim mode. I've got no money. Like my mum's poorly. Like I'd lost. Like it was always an excuse. There was always a victim mode. Whereas actually, thank fuck we're not dictated by our circumstances, because then we are fucked. Then it is literally we've got no control over our lives at all. But when you would step back and say, actually, I don't want this anymore. I want more, and then you go and get yourself. I keep hitting this. I talk about my hands far too much.
She's so
I'm
passionate.
like, I feel like I'm on the stage chatting like I can't cope with this. But it is like you get to decide and you get to show up as who you want to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do.
And like, I haven't had it a lot. Like I've had people are normally like really supportive and nice, but a few comments from friends and things that are a bit like, oh, it's all right for you. And I'm like, but do you understand? I put the kids to bed and work till 1 every morning for 4
Yeah.
years.
No one sees the behind the
It's
scenes.
the
of it
overnight
all.
success that took 10 years
Yeah,
to build.
no,
Yeah.
like,
Which I
I'm-
think is why podcasts and stuff are so popular,
Yeah.
right? Because people want to hear the real shit
stories,
that's going
yeah.
down, the stories.
Like,
you only see the
always-
highlights on socials.
I don't know about you, but I always be so embarrassed to tell people that I
Oh
never
my
had
God.
like the 20p story. I've only recently started to share that
Yeah,
because I
I
would the
don't wanna tell
shame,
anyone about
the
it.
guilt, like it was just, I was so embarrassed. Like I was in my 30s, like what the fuck? Why couldn't I pay? It was ridiculous, and because I took this risk to do it. Whereas now I'm like, if I can go from that to
Yeah.
where I am, anybody can. If I can
Yeah.
go from the most victim mode, anybody can.
I don't know about you, but like growing up, I felt like, especially in like our sort of era, there wasn't the whole like business
No.
thing. And like as well, I used to think in my head when I was younger, I knew that I was going to have money. I don't know how. And I knew I was going to have my own business. And my parents were like, oh, what? Like,
Doing what? I'll
no,
get a
you're
clothes
not.
shop.
Like, you need to go to uni and you
Yeah.
need to do this. And if you don't do that, and like I went to uni for like 2 weeks for Freshers Week, and I was like, that's not for me.
I did sports science at
I hid that from my parents for a whole term. They thought
No,
I was
you
going
didn't.
to yeah, they thought I was going to uni. I wasn't going to
Did
uni.
you spend the student line?
yeah, I spent the
Nice.
student line, like everything.
Go
like
on, got me
that.
debt and left.
Yeah,
Still
literally.
paying it all back now.
And then I told
Pennies
them,
at a time.
hey, I'm pregnant by the way. So I'm not going to uni and I'm pregnant. They were like, oh my God. So anyway, apparently I was destined for shit. But I was like, it's going to be fine.
I'm gonna figure it out.
figure it out. And they're like, you're delusional. But yeah, it's just so funny. But I think it's good that like we open up so
Yeah.
much now, because I love like with my kids, I love that like, okay, there's some things that aren't great
Yeah.
like online, and that's like a whole different
Yeah.
story, I feel. But I love that they get to see more inspirational and things like that, because before it wasn't
so
like
much
that.
more relatable. Like,
And like, yeah, and like tech, like for in obviously I'm quite like techie, and like you lot take the
yeah.
piss out of me.
Oh, yeah.
never knew that.
Look at SEO. I every time you say SEO, I have to remind myself of what that is. I'm like,
I remember like when I was doing my jobs like before in like corporate, it was all bald like men,
Yeah.
like no offense, but like, you know, in their 50s,
Old white
all
men.
this
White
sort of
men.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just
How
like
many
then
bald
I'm-
white men listen to your podcast, you think? Who are
We're
you
safe.
offending?
offended
We're
your
safe.
entire audience.
Sorry if your dad was listening to this in the background.
Barry,
We love you,
women
really.
listening.
Barry, we don't read it. Barry, we love you.
but it was Barry.
Baldy Barry.
Or Bob.
Right, sorry to all the Barrys out there.
And Bobs.
Anyway, Bobs.
Just men in general in white shit.
Actually, no,
white men in shoes.
we don't apologise.
But like honestly, and I was young at the time, and it was like I feel like that really like sort of built my character there. But yeah, when I go to these tech conferences, like everyone look at me like, "Oh, you shouldn't be
Yeah,
here."
what are you
that
doing
type of-
here?
Yeah. Whereas now I feel like women
I've taken
obviously are going into like more into tech, and that's growing. But yeah, so I remember when I was at school and I used to have an interest, like I didn't really kind of want to say it because like everyone would look
Yeah.
at you like, are you joking? Like that type of thing. Whereas now it's good that we have all of this.
I think like social media gets a bad
Stuff.
rap, but it's nice to see when people are real on there. It's so much more relatable, and you're like, oh my God, there's someone like me. Whereas like us growing up was models on getting slagged off on the front screen for being more bigger than a size 10, like
Oh my
on
God.
magazines. Like there was never anybody.
So damaging.
There's
Who's
no
not
to look
scared
at.
about showing up on social media? Because when I started my social media management business and agency, I didn't tell anyone. So only my partner knew. And I didn't want to show
I find
my
it weird how you
face.
say partner.
Partner.
Sounds
What did you
really
say?
boring.
Yeah, but she's too old to have a boyfriend.
Yeah. I
Is
can't
she?
say-
Yeah,
Boyfriend? I mean,
he's my boyf.
yeah, and
Partner.
boyfriend
I
doesn't
just don't know
sound-
if I like
I always think of
partner,
like
but-
Oh, I
Um,
managed to upgrade to fiance. so I'll
Baby
take that.
daddy.
I always,
Not baby
Oh my
daddy.
God.
Pamela's making me think of like
I
crap.
don't mind baby
No,
daddy.
No!
Yuck.
Like,
Oh,
get
but
off.
I'm from Luton. You can't say that.
Absolutely
All right.
No, you can't say
All right,
baby
partner.
daddy.
Fucking hell.
Partner.
Snort,
Well, he's not
go
putting a
on.
ring on it, so you know.
Matt,
partner.
if you're listening to this, sort it out. We can't be hearing you as partner for a second longer.
Cat's getting the ick.
I'm getting the ick. Just pony up.
Pony up.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's the same, isn't
Pony
it?
up.
I don't know. First time I've heard
But you
it
said it
now.
with such conviction, I believed it, yeah.
Pony up.
Pony the fuck up.
So, what the fuck was I going with this now?
I don't know. Something about your partner.
Oh, right, yeah. Do you want to show up on socials?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and so how I started was like, I'd put a picture of my story and it was just a selfie and then I'd throw my phone across the
Yeah,
room. and
don't
I was
look
like,
at it again.
mad.
Don't
I was
look
like,
at it. It's going to
never
disappear in
do that.
24
Yeah,
hours.
I
yeah.
just want people to know. I was embarrassed. Now I don't give a fuck, but I was like, I don't want anyone to know that I've got my business. But I
It's
think
a big
because I
thing.
thought
It is.
people would think, who the fuck does she think she
I
is?
remember
and all that.
Anna saying to me, if you want to like make money more quickly and get your business to where you want it more quickly, you need to talk to your stories. And I was like, cringe.
I think
do.
when we first started, it was like the era of logos, so it was a big thing to put yourself out there. Whereas now, when people moan, I'm like,
No.
we what was it? We ran so you could walk, no, we walked so you could run. Like we had to go first and break the logo era
Yeah.
and start talking and being on there, so that you can now. Like it's just so normal for you to
Yeah.
go on.
But
It's
also,
normal.
for anyone listening to this who doesn't like talking to their social media, and like, I totally get why you wouldn't, because it does feel cringe at first. But people actually don't find you cringe.
No.
They find you brave
Yeah.
and inspiring.
Yeah.
Because it is hard
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
And I think people lose sight of what like Instagram is. It is your connection with your
Yeah.
audience. So if you just show up and talk like from the heart and you are you,
Yeah.
the right people will resonate
People
with that
buy
or
from
they
people.
won't. Yeah, they do.
always
So-
have. People buy from people, and everyone will resonate with. There'll be some people that don't like
And
it.
people
They'll
they
just
like.
scroll
Yeah.
past you. That's fine.
People
like,
don't give a shit.
no,
either.
like, and
do you
no,
remember what you
people are
last
too
saw on the phone?
People are
I
too
don't.
busy picking themselves apart to even look at you.
Yeah.
They're too busy being like, I don't like this other person, or it's like we're about to say the gym. People are too busy staring at themselves to even look
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
you. Like they're so caught up
I
in
used to be
themselves.
really worried about it though. And you used to take a video and then be like a million takes because oh no, my lashes look like this, or my hair looks this,
Yeah.
or this is a bad angle, this is a bad lighting. And then when I started standing on stages, I got really bad as well. And I was like, oh, I need to lose more weight, like my outfit this, like my hair this, like oh, you can see my double chin, like all of these things. And it wasn't until I was like, it's not about me.
No, it's about what I'm saying.
It's about them and
Yeah.
what they're getting from
Yeah.
it, what value I'm giving. And from that day, I was like, I don't care. I'll go on and I'll do face accounts with no makeup on
Yes.
all the time.
And I think that's important. Like I show up more when I have lashes. So that now has become a non-negotiable for me because I will show up more. But if I've got one hanging on for dear life and I'm having a fucking breakdown, I will still go on stories and be like, oh my God, half term. Because it's real.
Yeah,
That's
you have
real
to be
life.
real.
But people will spot that a mile off if you're
Yeah.
being fake and trying to
yeah.
pretend to be someone else. But I would say as well, anyone who's listening, when you see videos of like people talking to camera and you're like, wow, how are they doing it so well? I work with so many clients. Like I tell my clients, like for example, for you, Kat, I'm just like, right, just talk and I'll just edit the
Yeah.
arms, I'll edit
See,
the
I leave all
fuck-ups,
mine in.
like that type of thing.
I
Like, do you
do,
know what I
'cause that's
mean?
how I
Like
am.
I'll just edit it all out and everything. But also a small part of your audience who follows you will see your content.
Yeah, it's such a tiny
and they
amount.
need like literally like 80% of people don't actually see your stuff. So you also got to think about that. And also people don't remember. Like I can't remember what I last saw on Instagram
I think
5
as,
minutes ago.
as well
No.
with it, like it's not that deep. Like it's scary at first, of course it is, but each one gets that little bit easier.
Yeah.
And it's like, I used to always say, a man, I got forced. So my business was 6 weeks old when COVID hit. So I couldn't work. I got no help from the government because I just started.
Same.
I literally got nothing. So I started doing the home facials. Now I couldn't stand there with a filter on and do a home facial to show people. It did not sit well with me. So I had to do these videos. And I remember the first few times I did them, I filmed them about 20 times and I was talking so fast. I was like out of breath. I was that like fucking, and I remember staying like an hour, like going through to like pick one. And like I had some on my top, like, and the amount of times I got the best, like everyone replied to me and I sold so many because everyone was like, you look like me right now. You sound like me. 'Cause it was very like local then, obviously, so they could all understand me. But then that, obviously the feedback you
She's
get,
foreign girl.
the feedback you get, that builds your confidence. But then as well, I used to think if I showed up with makeup on and spoke properly and didn't swear, my clients come in and I go, oh fuck, I've swilled myself with a jelly mask and my hair's everywhere and I ain't gonna make one. They'll be like, who is this person?
Yeah, you're not the one
I
on
genuinely
socials.
got dream clients. Even now, everyone I work with, I fucking love because they love me for me. The other people are like, don't like her accent, she swears too much, I don't agree with what she says. That's all right. They was never going to buy from me.
Yeah.
Go to another coach.
I actually had, Shaz, I don't want to slag off Google because I know it's going to upset you, but I actually had a client recently who found me on Google and came in to the clinic and I basically, she didn't have any skincare, she needed everything. So I sold her everything. And she was actively like, I could see she was like recoiling from me, like, stop. And she hated it. She had no idea of what I was all about.
Not all Google clients are like that.
Yeah,
by the way,
guys,
Disclaimer.
keep investing in your SEO because it's like so worth doing. But
Keyword
like
issue.
my Instagram clients they know what's in store when they're coming in.
You have such a
You,
laugh.
like, warm
because
it up.
Yeah. And I remember when I first started talking about manifesting and being a bit woo, I got loads of new clients and they was all talking. It took me ages to figure out because I'd just been chatting about it.
But it's
these people
important
fucking
to
in.
know who your ideal client is, and that takes time. Like
Yeah, it
I've
does.
worked with so many different clients, and over time it evolves. And then you're like, actually, this is the type of client that I want to work with, and this is who I'm calling in. So a lot of the time, like people will be like, you know, but these are my clients right now, and then it's just like,
Or sometimes you want to work
settle
with
them.
everyone as well.
Oh, if you
But then
try to
I think
work
if you
for
show
everyone,
up
you don't.
if you show up in your authenticity, you just naturally attract. Like I never really thought about dream clients till I sort of got into this world, but I always had dream clients because I swore I was a tramp with my outfit and I was talking about the moon and having an argument with the moon, and then people would come in and we'd like laugh our heads off, and it's because I was just so me. I obviously my ideal client was just people like me, not a narcissist at all, just loads of curlies. So I think if you do show up and for me as well, if I knew I had to put a full face of makeup on, I had to speak properly and I couldn't swear.
Yeah,
I would never
No
show
way.
up. I'd never be. It takes so much effort to show up.
That's the beauty of modern business. Like when you think about when you used to work in an office, all those twats in HR and
What
accounts.
about our
Like-
Zoom calls? Our right, guys. When we have client calls,
Guys.
right, guys. One time I went on Zoom and like I'm just in my trackies, I never wear makeup, that sort of thing. And then Kat comes on and she's got this LED mask, right?
Just a fucking vibe.
Looks like a neck brace. And she's like,
It's just breaking her neck.
Yeah.
don't worry about me. She's like, you don't mind? I'm like, no. She's got like this mask on, and I'm just
I
like,
remember one of the
I think I had a hair oil on as
and
well.
she's
that
like,
day.
isn't this amazing that we can just do business like this, all stiff? I was like, yeah, it sounds.
One of the first calls I did with like Kat on like a Zoom, and the first thing she said was like, right, big dick energy. And I was like, this is my type of Zoom. I fucking love this group already.
Oh my God, I know what that was about. That was about employee contracts because Carrie
I just
also
remember hearing
said
that
to
and
me,
just being like, I fucking love you.
yeah, but
Be
it
my
is.
friend.
But like, why? I sent so many emails like, dear Sandra,
Yeah.
best wishes. Fuck
Kind
that
regards.
shit. Like, I'm going out for lunch with my accountant and hearing about her like
I love that my
dating
accountant's
stories.
on WhatsApp, by the way. I can't
Yes.
do emails. Like WhatsApp, I love that I
hate
talk to my
emails.
clients on
Yes.
WhatsApp. I voice note them. Like that
It's
is
so
the
much more
vibe.
chilled,
It's
isn't
easy
it?
and it's enjoyable. Like I now, like I'm best friends with my dentist. Anyone who's like in my
You're
like,
just friends with
Kat
everyone.
makes people be her friends. She's like, we are best friends. I'm like, are you? Or did you meet them once in like Tesco's?
No, but I just love everyone. And I'm like, I only want people
If
in
anyone
my...
needs a friend, go and DM Kat.
But
You
I'm
know,
like,
it's a business actually.
What?
People can hire you to be their
You can
friend.
be a
Like,
matchmaker.
yeah, bridesmaids as well. You can
Yeah, you
hire,
can hire
bridesmaids
bridesmaids.
as well. My
Yeah.
dad told me that.
no,
Hire
you wouldn't want me. I'm
bridesmaids.
fucking diva. You wouldn't want me to be a bridesmaid. But
Oh my
I
God,
I
definitely
don't want to be
nice
anyone's
person.
bridesmaid. That's another job.
I just love being like on good terms with everybody that's in my business, and that I don't want anyone to make me feel like any kind of way that's negative. And if not, you're gone.
But that's the
Goodbye.
beauty of like just having your own business. You can really run it
Oh.
like your terms. Like
Love.
it doesn't need
Your
to
hours,
be
your terms, your
your
money,
clients,
everything.
Let's get it on a
everything's
fucking
what you
t-shirt.
want.
That was good. Your hours, your terms, your clients, your vibe.
Love that. We need that on like a mantra. Oh
Yeah.
my God, talking about mantras, right? Sorry, throwback. Do you remember Kat with her fucking
Subliminals.
I can't say it.
Subliminals.
Whatever,
My
that.
subliminals. So in Marbella, oh my God, and I
But your
woke you
phone was
up.
always about to die.
She
I
didn't
know.
tell us. By
I
the way,
didn't-
if you go on a retreat and you're going to share a room with someone, I think you need to find out what's their nighttime routine and how they go to sleep, right?
I have a
Ours is very different.
I have
Yeah.
a very
Just finally go to
small,
sleep.
a very small night terror issue, and I woke Shaz up in the night and went, Shaz, and she's like, what? And I went, are you okay?
Yeah, in the middle of the night, we're sharing a bed, double bed, and then
You're lucky to be in a double bed with me. What are you talking
Oh
about?
my God. And I wake up in the middle of the night. She's over me. She's going, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. I mean, it would be better if you didn't wake me up. And she's like, okay. And then in the morning, I was like, Kat, do you remember what you did last night? She goes, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you I have the night terrors. I'm like, brilliant. Thanks so much.
Anyway, I played an 8-hour mega mix of subliminals.
Right, it was never 8 hours because your phone died after like half an hour. I was just getting into it, and then your phone had died. I'm like, why is she not got it on charge? That used to annoy me.
Why wasn't it on charge?
Because it's you.
With
Not
your
that
100
loud.
charges and it still wasn't
I
on
know.
charge.
But maybe I need to this year invest in adapters. I think that was the problem. I didn't
Oh, you
have
didn't
an
have an
adapter.
adapter.
Yeah, I think we was-
okay.
yeah, maybe
so
we
she
struggled
had
with
that.
invested in the charges.
I'm
but
embracing
When
the
you do the
chaos.
hack where you have like the
Chaos.
where you do a 4-in-1.
A Mars bar.
A
What's
Mars
that?
bar.
Do you never heard that? Like the plugs where there's
They have
4 in a
like
row.
four-
It's called a
I've
Mars
never
bar.
heard of that. A Mars bar.
I
That's
haven't. A
chocolate.
Mars bar's a Mars bar.
Yeah.
Oh
You
no,
don't
I
eat a
love the
charger.
like charger like
Or the multi
cube
one.
things. I take that everywhere.
Yeah, so they say like stick one adapter on and then we could all have
I can't
shared.
believe you've called that a Mars bar.
I
Yeah, I
can't.
thought that's what they were called.
Chocolate.
Mm.
Don't really
I
like
could eat
Mars
Mars
bars.
bars.
Isn't it funny
Really?
how
Oh, yeah.
like
I like a Snickers, but
Isn't it
obviously,
like
yeah.
both?
Isn't it funny? Yeah. So I definitely need some adapters, but I love my sleep sounds. And so
Adam.
basically it's thousands of affirmations over and over again. Like,
No,
you can
but
fucking
it
do
was
it.
like, what was it? The music was so loud. It was like,
it's the
weird.
waves.
But again, only certain people get this right.
Yeah.
Only a small selection of business people are going to realise
this.
that let's go to sleep with
Yeah.
meditation on.
It was
and
money.
they're-
It was a money mindset one as well, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
money.
yeah. No, I love that. I'm into all of that, but I was just like, whoa, that is like really loud.
But again, it's the
Really
fact
loud.
like how easy it was. Just like I'm just going to put this on, and we all went okay. Like it was just like we was all friends
And
with
then-
every night.
And then slagged me off about it the next day.
I didn't.
No.
That might have done.
Yeah.
So definitely like get out your comfort zone to book
Go,
a retreat.
yeah. Go
I
to
cannot
a
recommend
retreat.
one enough.
Do you know what I wanted to
done
say
6.
as well about investing in yourself, but in like your confidence,
Yeah.
self-confidence?
Yes.
So you know how we said how we can show up with like no makeup, this sort of stuff, and like feeling really confident. Like now I see, you know, like going to get your hair done and like everything like
Feeling
that, and like
good.
investing in your skin. Like I wasn't like a skin person at all. Like Kat's changed completely my whole mindset.
Skin by the Face Tonic. Cheers, guys.
Plug. But yeah, like supplements as well, like all of this stuff I never
Yeah.
thought before, but it makes a huge
You
difference.
have
gotta
to
do
look
it
after yourself.
and you've got to
first,
do
haven't
it
you?
for you because it makes you feel good, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what makes you show up. Like
And if you feel good,
yeah. And I always like say, like, who is that happy? What is it? The happiest, hottest, healthiest, wealthiest version of you? Would she show up and take messy action? Would she have her hair washed so she would go on and
Yeah.
talk? Like, mine's my tan. Like, I am see through. Like, I need to be tanned. So do
Yeah.
the little things that make you
Lashes.
feel good
Oh
about
my
yourself.
God.
Yeah.
Speaking of tan,
Nails.
you introduced me to airbrush legs in Marbella.
That was the
That
best.
has changed my
I need
life.
to
That was a
try
TikTok
this.
shop dream.
Oh my
Really?
God. It's like
Love
a like a
TikTok shop.
spray and you buff it in with a brush.
Oh, I need
So
that.
insane.
It feels like
Shop, by
effort.
the
Is that not
way.
effort?
No, because
No.
it's actually 10 seconds. Like
10 seconds.
Do you know what?
It's
I love
less effort than
TikTok
fake
shop?
tanning.
Toilet roll.
so
Ultimate
random.
hack, guys.
God.
Right, toilet roll. Yeah.
Can we
You
not
can
end on
get
that note? Then I think there's
100
something else
Well, no,
really
like,
exciting
I
to
tell you
talk
what,
about.
end
So
on.
going back to the
100 new
confidence thing a
rolls
sec.
for 20 quid. Amazing. Bulk buy.
So
Money
Right.
back to the confidence.
TikTok can pay for this
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Oh God!
just back to the confidence thing. Like, so when you, the only way to build confidence is by taking, you don't do the action and you're not confident, then take the action. You have to take the action and that's what makes you confident. So getting on a flight to Dubai on your own, it's scary,
Yeah.
but you do it and you survive. That builds the confidence. So you
Yes.
don't do things when you're confident, you become confident by doing the
Ooh.
things.
It's like when you're teaching your kid how to walk, like they're going to
Yeah.
fall over,
Yeah.
aren't they? You're not going to go, oh, don't start
Yeah.
learning how to walk.
to be good at
and that type
anything,
of thing.
you've got to be shit first.
Yeah,
Like,
they're gonna
nobody's
fall over and
perfect when they do
trip up.
anything.
Riding
Yeah.
your bike, you're going to fall off.
I'll
There's
just
been
get off
so
it,
many
bitch.
times this year where I've caught called my mum. And I've been in a different country somewhere. I've been like, I'm just mental, ain't I? Like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And she's like, nor can I. And I'm like, oh, like feel sick at everything I do because nothing's in my comfort zone.
It is like flexing a muscle, and the more that you do it, the better you get. Like when I used to pitch in recruitment, I used to feel sick, and then now I know it doesn't matter how hungover I am, tired, like upset, anything I'm going through. If I show up to something, I will get through a pitch, and I can rely on myself. But that's years of like doing stuff hungover, sad, like whatever. You know, and it is a muscle. You have to just keep doing it. And anyone that's listening to this thinking, I don't have business friends, join a mastermind, join a group coaching program, go to a retreat, put yourself out there.
What your podcasts are for as well. Like,
groups,
there's so many like ways. Oh, a lot of my friends just DM'd me on Instagram. They was just like, oh, I love what you do. I'm like, oh yeah. So like, do you know, like all the random this? I've got people that I've never ever met who are my biggest business like besties, like supporters.
I'd say 2 years. It was actually 2 years ago this month, and I joined the first mastermind. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, it was. First ever mastermind I joined. And my reason, obviously I wanted to level up massively, but I definitely wanted to build like a community around me.
Yeah.
And I'd say from that mastermind and then going on to another and obviously building my own, which is like my thing now, definitely what I was put on earth to do.
Love that.
Like the amount of people that I have around me that I've never had before, like the community of people I know I can call on, not be judged, like just talk to, be really open with, have my breakdowns with, share my wins with, like has been literally life-changing.
Yeah.
All
So
from
powerful.
joining that one mastermind.
powerful.
Because that mastermind introduced me to retreats. Like
Same.
and all of them I've been in, I've made incredible friends.
And also, like, not just the friendship connections, the business connections. Like, any client that works with me now, if I don't know the answer to it, I know someone who does. Like, my network of like incredible people in business is huge now, and they've got so many experts that can help. Like, and you can connect people, and like, how much business have we referred to each other? Like, it's amazing.
It's
like-
so good referring people and everything like that. But don't you think that's like, you know, like when people say, oh, what's the return on investment? It doesn't have to be monetary.
No.
It really doesn't.
No.
And this is like priceless. I know that sounds really cheesy,
it's not.
but it is though.
But it's like what like Katie's just said there. Like so many people feel, especially in business, feel so alone. And then those next tasks, those obstacles feel fucking huge because there's nobody else to get it or to ask advice of, and those breakdowns feel massive because you're the one that's got to pick yourself up. Sometimes you just need to ring someone and be like, this fucking client's cancelled, or this has happened and this has gone wrong, and then you're like, it's fine, I can do this. Or you just need to be able to vent to somebody and feel safe and just feel like I'm not completely by myself in this. Someone else gets it. Now I
hard
can
as
go.
a business owner, isn't it? When you're having like, you know, like if you're unwell or like you're going through something personally, and then you have to like separate that from like business, and then like that's a lot, but you can't show that to your clients or whoever it is that you work with. It's a lot. So then you're like, well, who can I speak to? Because otherwise, if you keep it inside, that will manifest and that will build up.
Or your
and then
growth stunts.
and you'll burn
because you
out.
can't. You'll start to think you're not normal. Like, well, why do I think like this? Why do I act like this? Why do I not watch TV? Why am I up working like till whatever time at night? Why do I actually sometimes love business more than my kids? Like all these things, you just think you're not normal. So if you haven't got them like people to talk about, I know what you're gonna say.
Oh my God, stop
Everybody
it.
went around the room to like introduce themselves. Our biggest flex. Everybody who had children mentioned the kids apart from Katie and Shaz.
No, it was
No,
me.
I did.
Oh, did you?
I
Yeah,
was grateful
Katie
that I kept
said.
them alive.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was us.
So
Yeah,
it was
so
these
Kat
two. I
went
thought it was
first.
Katie.
Did you go first? Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Then I went second. We didn't mention kids. And then
every other mum.
Katie was next, and then she went, "Oh, my children!" And me and Kat.
No,
were like,
I didn't.
No, she didn't. She
didn't.
didn't. She said that she was like happy that she'd kept them alive.
Yeah,
but
I
then
was like,
everyone
at least
else
they're
was like,
alive.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it for my kids, and Katie looked at me like the shittest mum on the planet, and I was like, obviously I'm doing it for my kids, but like
Yeah.
I just want
was
to
just
talk
talking about
about
my
my
program.
say that. Me and Kat are looking at each other like, for fuck's
That was
sake.
my favourite thing.
You can love your kids and love your business
Exactly.
Yes.
at
You
the same
can.
time.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for you girls, and like love our friendship so
Yeah.
much. Had
Yeah.
the best memories in Marbella,
Yeah.
and not just that, like, you know, the mastermind, the work that we do together, the VIP day I've had with you, like Love you, love you, love you so much.
Oh,
No, love you guys. And we'll have to do this more.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to do it abroad, I feel like,
Yeah,
next
I feel
time.
like
it's
it's-
giving
yeah.
abroad.
It's giving abroad
Yeah.
energy.
Right,
vibes.
Life of KG is coming to Dubai.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Favourite
Let's go
place.
and
Yeah,
talk.
I'm available.
Because she's divorced now, did you know?
Because she's single, by the way. Just so you know.
Divorced. Oh my God, guys.
I will go and put everyone's handles in the show notes. So if you guys can go and follow us all, and if you can go and share this episode, we would be really, really grateful. But thanks, guys, for coming on.
Thank
I've
you.
loved it. Thank you for
So
having
good.
us.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for having me.
I keep forgetting we're on a podcast and just chatting.
Yeah.
I know, this
When
is
you kept
actually...
going, if anyone's listening, I was like, well, I was listening.
Or watch it now.
Oh,
Or watch
God.
it.
Or watching.
yeah.
Watching. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all changed.
I know. It's
Yeah.
not just a.
You're being filmed, guys. Yay. Anyway, peace out. Bye.
Bye.